Hello, Good Shepherd and Saints Francis and John. I'm Father Lin Nguyen with Saints Francis and John. This week we prepare with the Gospel message for the 22nd Sunday of Ordinary Time. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew. Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer greatly from the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised. Then Peter took Jesus aside and began to rebuke him. God forbid, Lord, no such thing shall ever happen to you. He turned and said to Peter, Get behind me, Satan. You are an obstacle to me. You are thinking not as God does, but as human beings do. Then Jesus said to his disciples, Whoever wishes to come after me must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever wishes to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. What profit must there be for one to gain the whole world and forfeit his life? Or what can one give in exchange for his life? For the Son of Man will come with his angels in his Father's glory, and then he will repay all according to his conduct. Friends, this beautiful gospel is challenging us at the core of being a disciple of Christ. How often we can be complacent in the midst of suffering. Complacency in the face of suffering is an outrage. Nothing less full commitment to love of God and love of each other will do, and status quo systems of violence and discrimination may not be ignored by those who claim to follow Christ. As we speak, thousands of people are suffering by the devastating fire at Maui. People die, properties are destroyed, and families have been misplaced. Yet, Paris Hilton was posting her family extravagant vacation on the island. This is an example of the complacency. We can see this reality in our state, our city, our family, or our church. Like Peter, we claim Christ only in the glorious power, yet fail to embrace the cross suffering he endures. God's salvific love begins at the cross. It is in the broken of our lives that where Christ's love accentuates. Hence, Jesus reminded us, if we are truly wanting to be his disciples, we must deny ourselves and pick up our cross. The cross of Christ is the solidarity of all brokenness sufferings. Best example is the image of Pope Francis kissed a deformed man, or Mother Teresa washed the dying homeless person and offered the person a dignity as a child of God. As Mother Teresa said, I see Jesus in every human being. I say to myself, this is hungry Jesus. I must feed him. This is sick Jesus. This one has leprosy or gangrene. I serve because I love Jesus. If we recognize Jesus under the appearance of bread, we will have no difficulty recognizing him in the disguise of the suffering. Let us take heed of our calling and invitation of Christ as his disciples, to live faithfully in our calling by consciously aware of Christ's suffering in our midst and respond to the capacity of our ability. As Christ reminded us, the Son of Man has come to serve and not to be served. Let us be faithful to the gospel of Christ. And here is some thought for the family activity. Living the gospel means trading a life of fantasy for one that follows the mind of God. As a family, talk about ways your family spends your time. Is it in line with the gospel message? Talk about how your family resources could be used for a greater good. What are the challenges of conforming your life to the gospel? Challenge yourself to change one family luxury and replace it with helping out at the Amen House or St. Vincent de Paul. Perhaps trade that $10 fast food meal for a donation to your local charity. The gospel teachings are God's dream for the world. God bless, and see you at Mass.